We are Two Guys Playing Zelda, and you can follow us on Twitter at Two Guys Play Zelda or email us at twoguysPlayingZelda@gmail.com.
This is part 3 of our Let's Play for the Dragon Roost Cavern. We're just continuing making our way up the mountain here. In this part, we may get the dungeon item, actually.
It's either this part or the next part, I'm not really sure. And it took me forever. It took me forever to figure out what those things do. And I don't know if you recognize it yet, but you like crawl into them.
Yeah.
And they like, I think they might help your health or...
No, what they do, it teleports.
It teleports, that's right.
Yeah. And I
wonder
thought
I suck at this game.
I thought that
I played through the whole game, I still don't know what they do.
No, I thought it was pretty cool though, because if you remember back to like some of the older Zelda games, like when you beat a mini boss, it gave you a teleport point.
Like in Link's Awakening.
Yeah, and then to have these periodically throughout this dungeon, like you saw the pot in the very first room of the dungeon, or cauldron, I guess you'd call it, not a pot. And you see one there. It took me a minute to I jumped into it first. I'm like, what in the world did I do? And I realized I'm back at the beginning. I'm like, oh, that's a very fun idea.
Yeah.
If you ever have to leave the dungeon for some reason, like let's say you're,
that's true.
I don't know, have no health or something.
Yeah,
you don't have 3 hearts, you don't have any health anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Or need some. Well, I don't even think we have items really right now. So,
no, not really, honestly. But it's nice to have that option.
Yeah, I still don't know how to figure these things out. Well, I just didn't know you could we would never been able to climb up on like a jar or a barrel, whatever you want to call that thing, a vase.
Oh man, this room gave me fits.
I did figure this one out pretty quickly.
I didn't realize that some of these pots had enemies.
According to my standards.
No, I eventually got there when I was finally like, okay, the door's shut. I probably have to kill everyone or find a switch.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because you can't get out.
Yeah. So I
eventually thought I had it because you like the torch.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is a joke.
Yeah. And then
And then a treasure chest appears. And you're like, wait, what?
And the treasure chest is probably like rupees or something like that. Or
I don't even know what it is.
Me neither.
Obviously, it's not that important.
But yeah, finally, I eventually just broke a pot and an enemy popped out of it. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, I'm surprised that one on the shelf right there didn't take me longer to figure out.
Well, if you think back to when you're on the very first outset island, when you're talking to, if you talk to one of the residents who kind of teaches you some of the sword skills, he also teaches about rolling, and they show you roll into a wall, and that happens. I guess it's his brother or whatever yells at him for knocking stuff off the shelf.
Think about doing that right here. Does that work?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
well, I definitely took the hard approach to it.
Do you do like a jump attack or something?
No, I mean I remember doing that. Yeah, roll to the. It just did. Oh, treasure chart.
Oh, treasure chart. Yeah,
that's actually valuable.
Yeah, it really is. So, but yeah, for some reason, so every time after that, I walk into a room and I see pots on shelves, I'm like, roll into the wall, roll into the wall.
Like, I finally get a chance to roll into a wall where it does something, and I just don't hit a door or something, and I don't do it.
Oh, yeah, that's why I joked in one of our earlier parts about giving Link a concussion. There's a reason.
Well, I didn't even think about it. I mean, we definitely do it at the very beginning, but yeah, I didn't even think about doing it right here, that was a pretty sweet move.
That was a nice jump attack there.
Well, then watch the approach I take, because I take a more... professional, tougher, more talented approach.
Nice. Instead of just breaking everything on the wall.
Yeah. I throw a stick at it.
Now that's a good idea.
But you gotta get up on that ledge.
Oh, after you figure out the first stick puzzle, you're like, I'm throwing sticks at everything.
Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking. I was like, when you don't know, throw a stick.
Throw a stick at it. It was the right track earlier.
The sticks have been confusing me so. Hey, that's probably good.
I like that approach, honestly. I wouldn't have thought of that.
That's probably what I was thinking. Yeah, you gotta use sticks for everything in this dungeon. Gotta use them here too.
That's a great idea, honestly.
I thought it was. I don't know.
I do love how we're still just ignoring that glowing ball.
Dude, it took me like 2 dungeons to realize how.
It took me a while too.
Actually, I think I do get it at the end of this dungeon, sometime.
I like this approach.
Yeah.
Not
I missed it the first time.
Yeah.
It's a good throw. I was like, I didn't even think about it.
Remember how far you can throw it.
Yeah, sure. That's true. Maybe I was just being a rebel right here. I don't know. It was a good throw.
Nice.
That's one way to do it.
That was a creative way to do it. I like that.
Well, the rolling would have been a lot easier. Now I got the roll down. You know what made me mad? If I would have rolled into the wall right there, it would have dropped.
You had one of those, you gotta be doing moments.
So that's how you do it.
Yeah, but I've always been, like I said, ever since that first one, if I see pots on the wall, because I'm one of those guys, it's Zelda, you're gonna break every pot you see. As we found out in the first or second room. Yeah, I just remember that little hint from the very beginning, and when I saw that, I'm like, oh, let's knock it down and see what's in there.
Yeah, And then we have a little transition right here, which is obvious. But I spent quite a bit of time in this room initially because I had no clue how to defeat this enemy.
Oh, this the rolling. Oh,
I kept on hitting. Yeah, I kept on hitting him, and you just like kept on rolling back into the lava. And then obviously respawning and everything. So
Which was,
in retrospect, I should have just thrown the water on that thing and just been done with it.
I say you probably could have skipped him entirely.
Yeah, these things like confuse me. I just had no idea they rolled into balls.
Yeah,
and that you could like pick them up, throw them, stab them, you know, whatever.
It's frustrating, like you said, you keep hitting him in the lava like that.
Yeah,
and he just comes right back. And you're like, okay, does this ever? Because he takes a lot of hits to kill. Period. I think that's what I did is totally skipped him entirely. Like,
well, there's like a finishing move you can do on him, which I think might be A right there. Or you can hit him with the sword when he opens up his claws.
Yeah.
And he'll roll into a ball, and then you can hit him with your sword. But
yeah,
actually, that also works too. That I just did right there.
Yeah, and I think this is what I did, or when he was still alive, just totally skipped him, like just jumped across there as quick as I could.
Yeah.
And
well, I think I missed. Yeah, I missed the first throw, so I was like, oh, I'll go and kill this guy. He's been causing me. Now, some of it was cut out. That was about a 10-minute, 10-minute room right there.
It's the transition you saw.
Thank God I went out the door again.
Hey, but I will say this game, I'm not sure if this is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how much of a challenge you like. But
no challenge.
It seems like this game, like bushes and pots and things like that, give you what you need. Like if you're low on health, they give you hearts. If you're low on magic, which you don't have yet right now, but if you're low on magic, they'll give you magic. I think it's
well, that's also one problem that a lot of people had with this game is it was too easy.
Because of that reason.
And a lot of that was just because, you just get too many items, like those things that we don't know how to break yet, that the enemies leave as little shiny balls.
Oh, yeah.
Those give you all kinds of stuff.
Hearts, rupees, everything you could ask for. So it's kind of like a touch. It's like whether you like the challenge or not, kind of would
Well, I like a little bit of challenge, but I mean, even I barely died in this game. And if I barely died in a Zelda game, it's not very hard.
Yeah, you and me on that one. As we've said many, many times, we are not professionals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, actually, I'm not sure if I've died either, honestly.
Yeah, so. I think it's probably the easiest Zelda game I've ever played.
And a lot of that, I think, does have to do with the fact that it does, throws you a bone every now and then.
Well, the sword play is also pretty good. Like, there's a lot of different defensive techniques and everything you can also use, which actually help out quite a bit.
I agree. And I do like the items we get and things like that in this game as well that really help you out, too. But, yeah, you're right. The sword play is a little more expanded. I mean, obviously not as expanded as, say, Skyward Sword. But
we got motion control in that one, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, blowing up rocks, though. I wish I would have known what those things were for before, like, the last dungeon.
Oh, man, that would have been...
Did they go anywhere helpful at all? Well, they probably didn't advance forward at all. They probably went backwards.
It's any ones you've seen you can warp to.
I've had a hard enough time getting through the dungeon. The last thing I want to do is warp backwards.
Like I said, it's if you ever have to need to leave for some reason, or I guess if you like stop and come back to it or something. That is one angry dragon.
Yeah, and that's a Valu or Vulu?
Valu.
I think it's Valu. But he's well, I don't know if they've ever. Actually, I think it says it in Hyrule Historia that he's a descendant of Valvagia, the boss from the Fire Temple in Ocarina of Time.
Nice.
A descendant of his. So
he's slightly nicer than Volvagia was.
He didn't look nice right there.
Well, he's
not trying to kill us either. So
he's got somebody pulling on his tail. I wouldn't be too happy either.
His ancestor did not like us apparently.
No.
Dropping boulders on us, spitting fire at us.
Yep. Eating all the Gorons.
yes, that's true.
And this is kind of weird. Like, this is technically, I guess, the mini boss fight of the dungeon.
It was kind of easy,
but it's just like a couple waves of these regular.
And this guy, I mean, like we said, it's kind of an easy game.
Well, it is the first dungeon too, so that's forgivable. But I still haven't figured out what those pendants are for.
They're important. I'll tell you that they're important.
Say, I keep collecting them. Don't worry.
They are important.
Yeah. Oh man, he got you.
Dang! Well, look how big he is compared to me.
Very true.
How Link keeps on winning these battles. Oh, but okay. First of all, this guy's got a lot. He's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And his weapon reaches a lot farther.
He's got some brains.
He's got to be one of the worst fighters ever.
You just get him in the behind?
Yeah.
I think you did.
He's facing a kid with a little sword. His blade on the end of his stick is as big as our sword.
It's as big as your body.
And he just keeps on trying to block us.
So dude, just poke him.
We got a sword and you got wood. Eventually, we're going to cut through that or do that move.
Very nicely done. Knocking that out of his hand, by the way. Once he's disposed of, free...
Medley.
Yeah, that's her
M-E-D-L-I, however you say it.
Yeah.
That's how I say it.
Good enough for me.
And man, this girl creeps me out. These creatures with the bird noses that are humans.
And the glowing red eyes.
Thanks, I didn't even notice until now. But, even worse now. But these things, I don't know. I mean, I know it's like a Toon game and there's not much darkness in this game, but those things creep me out.
They kind of do. And then we need their wings a little later on, too. I think they're creepier as kids, though, without the wings.
Okay, well, if they had wings, it would make sense.
Yeah.
You know, birds, definitely so, You're right. Without their wings,
it's definitely creepy.
I wouldn't help her. I just walk her. Well, I guess she gives us a grappling hook.
That is true. Otherwise, I'd be like, we're going to the next dungeon.
We should have just attempted to walk past her and be like, no, you gotta grow your wings first.
Hey, thank goodness she got us that grappling hook, though, because that is about to come in real handy, real soon.
And I love the little hand at the very end of this.
I do too. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's a little neat. I'm not a big fan of the extended animation when you throw it, but we'll see that coming up later on, because this is the end of part 3.